the game plan is to take these 2 supers and those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 supers and 1 deep that are all for honey. I want to take them and break them apart and move them and put them back on. A lot of times bees will make bridge comb between one box and the other box, so the frame is hanging down, and they'll build comb between the 2 and put honey there also. And when you break them apart, that breaks those combs and makes that honey ooze everywhere. So the theory is, if you break them like hours before or a day before you're gonna pull all the boxes, that causes that honey to leak. The bees clean that honey up and put it in a different cell, and then when you come back and break them apart the next day or 8 hours later or whatever, you shouldn't have as much of a leaky honey issue. So we're gonna get in there and just break those apart and put them right back on, and that way they can clean it all up, so tomorrow or later tonight, whenever I do it, I won't have as much of a mess. So we're gonna give that a shot. So I'm gonna smoke them a little bit. They're gonna get maybe a little fired up when I go getting into their honey. So try to get them to be a little bit subdued. Okay, so let's just see what this looks like in here. I'm pretty sure they're going to be fairly full. They've been working pretty good. I know I gave them an extra box recently, so not 100% sure if it's going to be full, which I'm not so sure that it is. Yeah, they haven't really got the top one built out yet. So what I'm probably going to do is switch the boxes to put this one on the bottom. Now this one is filled right out and they're all capped. So let's see here. It's heavy. See if you can see. Now you see how they had these combs? They're stuck onto the bottom there, and they're gonna start to leak. So that's why I'm gonna swap them out. Break them apart, get it to leak, and move it. Ooh, that's a heavy one. Put this one right on there. Put this full one. Woo. Some good honey in there for sure. Let's try one of these out just to take a look, because I'm curious. And they got that propolis caked right on there. Everything's glued right together. They don't want that stuff moving. Oh crap. I just pulled that frame apart. That'll be good. Huh? That'll be a little bit of an issue later, but we'll make it work. Boom. Look at that. Yeah. Looking good, ladies. All right, we'll be back. We will be back to get that. All right. Let's put them back together here. There they go. All right, now we're going to get into the tall one, and it's going to be a little bit more of a hassle. And those bees, they can get a little fired up, which is why they're working so hard. Usually the ones that can be a little aggressive or a little fiery, they usually work harder. So we'll have to be careful in there, but they're just protecting their home, right, and all their honey. So, all right, let's get in that one. Like I said, these girls get a little fired up, and there's a lot of them. You might see something different. I put a new deep on here. This frame, or these two aren't capped yet, but hopefully they'll do that soon. This one was, but I thought they're gonna need some room when I take everything out of here, and maybe they'll have enough bees to draw this all out. And maybe I can use that in some of the other hives when I go into them this fall if they're not full of honey. I can steal some of these and give them some extra honey frames to give them some help. So that's the reason why I split the boxes and pop them all apart. And now back to the box pulling video. Hello everybody, and welcome to Hunter Gatherer channel. And today it's the Honey Gatherer channel. And we're in the bee yard, and it's going to be one of the last videos for this year in the bee yard. And today we're going to take off all those honey supers, and I'm kind of doing a 3-for-1 today. We're doing the honey supers. We're taking the honey off so we can extract it in the next day or so. I'm also, I don't know if you can read that or not, Apivare. This is Treats Mites. It's a Varroa mite treatment, and there's two strips. You rip them apart, you put them in the brood chamber, at least 2 frames apart from each other. And if you have 10 frames in a box, you put 1 here and 1 here, and then up above, if you have another box, you put 2 more. So you got to have 1 every 5, 2 if you have 6 or more, and then since we have 20 in our boxes, we need 4 strips. So I'm going to be putting this in to help with Varroa mites. And also, it's like one of those infomercials. But wait, there's more. Okay. Also, we have these. These are to capture small hive beetles. We don't always have an issue with them, but I have noticed them in a couple of the hives this year. And so we're going to help with the cooler temperatures, plus these traps. It should be able to, the bees kind of push them into corners, and they like to hide in corners anyway, so we shove these right tight into a corner of the last frame on the edge. I'm going to put 1 on each side with some vegetable oil in it, and they'll fall in here, and it's harder for them to get out, but plus with the oil in there, it drowns them. So we're going to try to kill those suckers out of there too. So hopefully we're doing mite eradication, small hive beetle eradication, and a honey super pull all at the same time. Today it's 62 degrees out. It'd be better if it was warmer, but it's going to be the warmest day we've got probably for the remainder of the year, possibly the foreseeable future. So I got to get this stuff pulled, and you guys can see how it's done. So I forgot to tell you how it's done. So what we have here is we have these lids that have felt in them. They've got a little spot here. This warms up from the sun, little solar power, and it will make that warm. And we spray this as a honey bandit. The bees do not like it. It drives them down. So you'll see, you might even see them start to beard up on the outside of their hive, which means they're coming out of the hole and kind of just hanging out there. They do not like the smell, so, or the whatever it is. It says no unpleasant odor, but they still don't like whatever it is. So I'll spray the heck out of this, and then I'll put this on the top and let it sit there while I work on some of the other boxes. And then I'll come back over and I'll pull the top box and bring it over here into my wagon, and I'll spray some on this too. This is just a cover for over here. Put that on there just to keep them deterred. I also have some holes drilled in some of the boxes. I'm going to put some duct tape on the holes to keep the bees from being able to fly in and out. And I I think that's it. So let's get the jacket, let's get the smoker, and let's get to work. Okay, I have those solar lids on, and now I'm going to just start working my way on these other boxes. Like I said, I'm going to put the Apavare in them and the small hive beetle pieces in them. So I'm going to go ahead and get them kind of ready. I'm going to put 2 in each, and they take a little bit of vegetable oil in there to drown the bees in. So I'm going to get them ready for at least a couple of hives. And the Apavare strips, I'm going to get those kind of ready too. So I just took some of Joy's, or our, vegetable oil here, and put it in a rinsed out half-gallon jug here. And it's going to put enough in there to drown those suckers, I guess. I don't know how much it takes, and you can do about like so. I think that probably is a little overkill, to be honest with you. So I'm probably going to go a little less now that I looked at it from an angle. But there we go. That's one. Okay, so I'm not getting too crazy in here. Just going to try to... They got a lot of bees. That's good. Nice and full. Good. Whew. Shouldn't have done that. Right up in my face. I know. Rip these open. So let's just tear these apart. I'm just going to stick it right down in there. One here. Oh. Get in there. Oh yeah, they're not happy. Go 1, 2 away. Stick this one in here. Do 2 more. Let's see here. I don't think they like the smell of that. Or something. Just trying to help you girls out. You just don't know it yet. We'll get you to last through the winter. Edge here. Okay, so that's that. Got the strips in there. I'll put the lid on. Like so. Outer cover, or the lid. That's the inner cover, and then the lid. They call stuff different things, I guess. All right. Drop it on there. If it's on there right or not? Yeah. Okay. And one last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put an entrance reducer on, just so that they're ready to be sealed up for the winter. Oh, don't go in too far. There we go. All right, one down, bunch to go. Okay, I think this has probably been on here long enough maybe to get those bees down. Let's see. Yeah, there's not very many in there anymore. They're driving down. So, before I jump in and winterize the next spot, I'm gonna go in here and pop this super off. And then move that board down one spot. There we go. Let's see what it looks like. How empty it is. Look out, honeybee. Got most of it. I'm gonna run over here and use my leaf blower and just blow out some of it to make sure they're all out. All right, that's the first honey super. On to the next spot. Whew. That was a good bit of work. So, looks like we got 2, 4, 6, 6 boxes of honey. So they usually say about 30 pounds each or something like that. So 180 pounds. Would have had more, but remember, we started off this summer with 1 colony. So we're really just trying to do a build-up here. We have 7 colonies out there, and actually we would have had this box here full, but I ended up taking from it to build up the 2 boxes that were just a single deep, and we're going to see if they'll make it through. Some of these aren't completely capped, and the stuff that's not capped, I'm going to just go ahead and put a super, a medium, on top of the deeps that are out there in those singles, and that should give them a lot more honey for the winter. So that's pulling the honey boxes, and that's also treating for Varroa mites and treating for small hive beetles and winterizing. You know, you should probably, I would have been happier to do it in stages, but stuff was busy after my thumb and all the other things, and everything, you know, just everything seemed to pile up. Trying to get ready for winter ourselves. The bees have a lot of honey on them, and all of them had pretty good brood. Actually, this box was half full of brood from the one our first hive from the summer. They had brood up in the 4th box. The 3rd box I had just put on there a week or so ago to give them more space. And then they had brood down in the bottom. So I took 2 of the frames and put in one of those hives, and 2 of the frames put in the other hive, and then I gave them full frames of honey. So that should help them out a lot. I think that's it. I want to thank you for coming and watching. Hey, I know that this probably wasn't exactly the way that some of you would do it. I feel that at least they're getting treated. I know I should have done it sooner. I know I should have pulled the honey off sooner too. I would have liked them to have been putting extra honey into their own boxes. But they are full. All their boxes are full. So that's that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. We'll do a video here soon on extracting. I'm planning on extracting tomorrow. I've been waiting on equipment from this Amish guy for 2 years. Every year I go back and say, hey, did you build that? And he says, oh, I forgot, or something like that. It's a little different story than that, but he called. I've been over there twice in the last 10 days, and he called and said it is done. So tomorrow morning I'm going to go pick it up. Then I've got a drive to do, and then tomorrow evening I will be extracting honey. So you'll get to see that soon. And too bad you won't be able to smell it or taste it unless you swing by. Okay, that's it. Hey, I want to thank you for swinging by. Thank you for checking the video out. Hopefully it lasted this long. And hopefully you'll keep coming back for more. I know some of you aren't into the honey thing. Some of you aren't into the hunting thing. Some of you aren't into the cooking thing. We've got a little bit for everybody. So hopefully we can put out content that you enjoy. I was in a tree stand this morning, and then now I'm going to go back to a tree stand now. So I'll have a couple of videos of that. I've got a ton of videos that I need to work on. If you're seeing this, that means I've got all the other ones done, so hopefully you watched them. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. We love you. God loves you, and we'll see you next time. And eat honey. It's great for you. All right. Have a good one.